that. Back to Bible in a Year. In our New Testament reading today, we're in Romans 11:12, and there's so much in today's passage. There is so much good stuff. It's like you almost feel like each and every line is almost like something to ponder on and chew on and reflect on and pray over, but there's just so much good stuff in there, and it almost feels in one sense like too much in one go. It's like stuffing yourself with a good meal and then going back for seconds, thirds, fourth, fifth, and there's so much in here that could just keep feeding us. We might want to come back to it another day and just pick out a verse or two that you particularly want to ponder and meditate on and pray over. But just a couple of quick thoughts about it in general. One is I love the kind of the flow of today's reading, because it starts off with this bit that's entitled Doxology. That's a praise, like almost like a praise song, like this is who God is. And having looked at just an aspect of who God is, like, and gone, wow, isn't that amazing? Isn't he amazing? It then naturally flows on and it says, therefore, so in light of this, I urge you, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual act of worship. So it's like, look, he's so amazing. In light of that, offer yourselves. That's your worship. And then it almost goes on to spell out, this is kind of what your worship's going to look like. So if you've been around Soul Survivor any time before, you know that when we talk about worship, we purposefully say, yes, worship is about bringing him our songs. And we believe that's a really important part of worship. But that is not the only thing that the Bible by any means talks about when it talks about worship. And it goes on here and it talks about, you know, how you relate to each other, the decisions that you make, the way that you go the extra mile, the tough things that you do in my name, the hard decisions, the extent to which you love one another. This is your act of worship. And the way that you serve and the way that you bring your gifts, all of that, you do it in my name, and it's worship. And I love that picture that it paints. And it's by no means an easy picture, because although the words are so beautifully, some of those things in there, a lot of those things in there are incredibly challenging, you know, whether it's live in harmony with one another, or not repaying evil for evil, or making sure that not only do you love, that your love is really sincere, but that the way you're devoted to one another, the way you would flee anything that is evil and cling to what is good. There's so much in there, and it's this beautiful calling that we have, that's like, because we love him, not simply because he says do it, although because he is our king, then there's that part of us that wants to obey him because it's right to obey him. He's our master, he's our Lord. But he's not just that, he's the lover of our souls. And when we love him, these things, it's like it becomes our response. Okay, I'm going to choose this, I'm going to choose this because I love you, because I want to live a life that is devoted to you, and I want this to be my spiritual act of worship. So maybe as you go about today, remembering that worship isn't just that moment when you're particularly praising him in your heart or singing him as you walk down the road, something I do from time to time and get funny looks, but it's also those decisions that you make, the way that you love others. That's your spiritual act of worship. God bless, and I'll see you soon. Bye.